Okay, so why don't we get started? This is the Pacific Rim/US Scrum for March 1st, 2016. President R. Saleem, Vijaya, and myself, Patrick. Vijaya, do you want to go ahead first?
Yeah, hi Patrick. I'm working on the multiple forms tryout. I finished agency person tryout form just now, and I have blocker. I create the pair program with you, resolve my issue. Then I'm working the company person. Okay, I don't have blockers, any blockers now.
Okay, great. Saleem?
Right. You guys hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. See, for me, since the last Scrum, I was looking the ERD. I think we might have some conflict. My maybe it might be my local, the one I have on my local machine, and the thing is, it matches my with the model with the apps, our apps, it match with my apps. But then I think you might have. Yesterday you showed me different one, so this morning I was trying to pair program with you, but it looked like you're offline. I sent you a message and you didn't get it. So I think it's better to go over it over the ARD and then try to fix with your updated version and the apps. I think it might be some conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I did. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Okay. All right. For myself, I put together a PR this morning where I'm drawing out company fields across two forms, one for company registration and one for company edit. And put that in place. Had a pair programming session with Vijaya, and I spent a little bit of time working this afternoon on the site map for agency admin actions, so I can identify pages that are being created and how we navigate amongst them, or the linkages between pages, which I think is a critical step. And that's I edited the MVP list a little bit as well, and that was it. So why don't we stop the Scrum? I think at this point we're done. Did you guys get a chance to look at the MVP
Yeah,
list?
I reviewed it, Patrick.
Any comments or concerns or?
Just I go through the list of the items what we did and what we had to do. I did not comment anything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I think I think it might make sense if we can have a team meeting, maybe outside of the Scrum. I don't think Amy can make today's Scrum, but maybe another session at 11 o'clock California time later this week, maybe tomorrow. Actually,
Okay.
tomorrow I can't do it. Perhaps Thursday?
Okay.
Would that work for everybody?
Yeah.
Salim?
Yeah, sure. Tomorrow at what time? 11?
Oh, we're talking about Thursday?
Oh,
Thursday.
Thursday. Thursday, 11. No. The thing is, see, have a job, so there's some conflict. That's why, I keep missing Scrum and some up, meeting with you guys. I have a job, so I don't know if I can make it. I have to go to work. I'll be at work at 11 Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I'll try. I'm not quite sure since it's kind of like a remote thing. So we might have a meeting at 11 on Thursday. I'm not quite sure, but if not, if it doesn't happen, I can, meet you guys. Yeah. And yeah.
Okay,
So,
so
quick question. Sorry to interrupt you, but um, do you usually have the ERD on the GitHub? What happened to it? I couldn't access the updated version. Where you guys link? Do you have any link to it?
It's on the MetPlus tracker
But
repo, not the MetPlus repo. So it's on the tracker repo itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You mean, is that the one on the Met Plus?
tracker.
MetPlus tracker, yeah.
Met Plus tracker. Okay, I'll look it up. But the thing is, as I said, it's we should have at least, if you update the ERD, we should have updated the models, all the models, because when I looked up the models, there's differences. I mean, with my old one matches, but the one yesterday, is it yesterday, the day before yesterday? Yesterday you showed me there's some different. I mean, I don't know what. So there's some difference.
Right. Let's
So
see.
if you guys have time, after you finish whatever you're doing, the MVP thing, can you look it up and then see if you can come up with something? Finish whatever you're doing first, and then we can.
We can look at it now. I think we're
Okay.
done. So where were you seeing differences, I guess? So this is the under the MetPlus tracker.
Okay.
It is, of course, we'd have to look at the PNG version.
Okay.
And whenever I alter the design in the tool, I always export a PNG version. You can see 26 days ago
Okay.
they were edited,
Sure.
and this shows the latest version. Let's see, but in the system.
Okay, this is the latest version. Okay.
Where were you seeing differences?
Okay, so you have the differences on the job. Okay, see, can you try to freeze your screen? Maybe it jumps when I talk. Maybe it says belongs to company person. It's on my version says belongs to company, and then the model also, inside the model it says belongs to company. So uh, I guess the way you have it, I prefer the way that's the version I would prefer to do it, not the old one. But we have to. It might affect our migration too, because if there's company person, then we have to change. We have to make some changes on migration too, because the older version. Can I share my older version and see what I'm trying to tell you? Let me
Sure,
share
sure.
it to you. The older version.
Yeah.
See, job. Can you guys see?
Yeah.
This is this is the new one. Here you go. Uh, my computer is super slow. Let me open this. Okay, let's open. Go. Okay, there you go. Okay. Can you guys see or no?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so see here, I mean, you were saying the cursor, it says belong to company. There's a company, belong to company, and then there's a belong to company person.
What was the date on that diagram there?
I'm not sure. Let me double check. Let me. I know for sure this is the old version. Probably I forgot to update. See the dates. Info, get info.
Well,
So November 27. It's too old. Uh, uh, see. Can you see if there is if there is any belongs to company, and then because we have to fix the model too. If there is no, we have to fix it in our model. It's just crazy things. I think we have to. Everybody have. I just want everybody to know. I don't want to just make some change, random change, and then don't surprise anybody.
check if what? Sorry?
I said, can you check in your ARD if there is inside the job belongs to company, but I don't see it anywhere.
Not in the latest version.
Yeah, and then okay, if you go into the app, the uh, model job model, we have
Mm-hmm. Yep, we
we
saw that
have
yesterday.
belongs yesterday. We saw yesterday, right? Remember?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Belongs to company.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. I think we can do through instead of using belongs. We can use through the company person, or use it through the person company person, maybe use the through
Well,
instead of like belongs to.
I was thinking about that yesterday after
Yes.
we
Yeah.
talked, and here's the thing: if we associate a job with a company person and then with a company through the company person,
Yeah.
that works as long as the company person record is still around. Now, if a company person leaves the company, they're no longer associated with pets or whatever, do we keep the company person record or do we delete it?
We have
If
to.
if we delete it, and we haven't defined whether we're going to keep it or delete it. If we delete it, then we lose the association between a company and the job that belongs to the company.
Right.
So it actually might be good to have both company as well as company person foreign IDs in the job record.
You mean belongs to company too?
Belongs to company might make sense given that if we decide to delete a company person, if that person leaves the company, for instance, they no longer have a pets account, then it's okay because we still have a company to job relationship,
Relationship. Okay.
and we can identify jobs for a company that are orphans that don't have a company person associated with them who's responsible for that job, and the company administrator can deal with that. So it might make sense to keep both belongs to in there in the model.
Okay. So in that case, then can you fix the ARD and then uh, update the on the tracker then? Because
Yep. I'll
yeah,
add the belongs to company to the job model on
yes,
ERD.
yeah.
And anything else that you've noticed as a discrepancy?
Not, I only saw that. That's the only thing
Okay.
for now. And okay, and then okay, if that's the case, then can you look at the waffle story and then change. Let's try to make some change then for the. Remember yesterday you trying to do the through instead of just company.
Oh, did I make a comment in the waffle? What's the story? What's the
Yeah,
number?
the story is 192. 192.
92. Okay, yeah. All right. This is where we're going to implement the job to company association. So all I noted there was this actually includes both job to company person and job to company association.
Right.
I didn't put anything there between has many through. Do you want me to? I'll just add a comment here. Both of these associations will be via a belongs to
Oh,
association on the job side.
sure.
In other words, the job model will have a belongs to company and a belongs to company person.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's right. But then I think this story just only. I mean, only. It's. I was trying to implement only the company and job association only. Maybe later I'll do the company person.
Okay, I will. Okay, so this
Just
includes
only one. The job company association.
company association, not associations,
Yeah.
and this association will be via a belongs to association on the job side. Yep. Okay. Yeah, Vijay, you have to
Yeah,
leave.
yeah.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Oh,
So,
she's
Thank you.
okay.
thank you. Bye now. Yeah, so I will fix the ERD tonight and push it up there to be put back into the tracker. Let's see what else. Good. Okay.
Yeah. And one more thing, I mean, if you know, I was looking at the pusher thing, the task.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's huge. I mean, it's as I said earlier yesterday. There's a lot of variables, and then you have to keep track of a lot of stuffs, and maybe it needs some thoughts. You know, it's not easy task. If you want, we can, you know, do together. I mean, I can come up with some idea, and then sometimes whenever let's set like a pair program for just the pusher, and then share ideas. You know what you have, what I have, and then maybe you know might it can will be maybe make it easier for you, and you know I don't know if you want, because
Mm-hmm.
it's huge. It's because you have to consider the job seeker, the agency person, a lot of stuff. There's a lot of variables, you know, keep track of that. And then I don't know, I was wondering, do you, I saw your PR, when you
Mm-hmm.
set the cookie, do you have to save it somewhere in database or no before you send it to pusher? I don't know. You're saying something like this cookie is for pusher or something. I just went through. I just skimmed through, but I don't know. I don't understand what you're trying to do there. Do we need to store the cookie somewhere or something on the database or something, or we don't need to?
No, not in the
No.
database. It gets stored
Okay.
as a cookie, and it gets actually server side created cookie gets pushed out to the client, the browser,
Uh-huh.
to send information to. Usually, cookies are populated by the browser. In this case, those cookies are defined by the server, put out to the browser, so the browser knows what type of user is actually logged in to that
Okay.
browser, and that indicates the the particular notifications which will be shown to that user based upon who they are, what kind of person they are. So that's why I'm doing that.
Sure. So does pusher needs to know about the cookie?
Nope. My
No.
JavaScript on the browser side does, but it picks that up and takes action based upon that.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it'd be better if I I'm not actively working on it right now, except very intermittently, because I got the first level of prototype done, and I got a first level of architecture kind of defined there.
Okay.
I think it'd be better if I maybe do a team review with the prototype that I have now, which I've implemented the notification for a job seeker joining the jobs agency.
Okay.
And then all the agency people get a notification on their browser
Okay.
that that event has occurred. And that's a pretty extensible. I can expand that into all kinds of events that we have to add eventually. It's a very similar architecture. I think we can exploit. Very simple too, for the most part.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay.
yeah, I probably need to play with it a little bit more, and then maybe we can have a team meeting, and part of that would be I can spend 20 minutes just showing people how that works.
Sure. Yeah.
If you review the code and you have any comments, go ahead and enter them into the PR. That would be good. Another way to also capture. If you're looking at it and you have thoughts, that would be great.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
That's good.
once we get through this, we're going to actually create an implementation task to put something into our production base to start
Yeah.
real notifications for real. And we'll all have another chance to hack away at it as well.
Okay. So the pusher, they do have a free version. I mean, services to some extent.
They have a free account. Yeah, that gives us pretty good growth until we get a lot of users and a lot of activity. But we can get, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
We can get up to 100 connections with the free version. And then it's pretty cheap. It's $50 an hour, but they will give a discount for nonprofits.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good, nice tool. And it uses WebSockets, HTML5 WebSockets, so it's future-proof. It's consistent with where the industry is going, which I like too. So it's a nice tool. So, how are you doing with your job, your initial job PR that you got out there?
Let's see. Okay, I think I did I think it should be ready, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. It's almost done. Yeah, the thing is, we were remember we were some disagreement on the either using the constant from the model or something like that. But then I decided to keep it, I guess. I don't know because sometimes the way you try, I mean, I'll be honest with you, the way you're trying to explain it to me, it didn't make sense. It did make sense because I was trying, my idea was at the page load, not looping it. You are like at the page and then you trying to loop it through, not without reloading the page. That will never make any difference. If you call some method without page reloading the page, it doesn't make difference. The same thing. It's easy. But what my idea was, when when you reload the page, there's difference. The difference of the bandwidth, and then plus when you send it to production, we don't have any guarantee all our app stuff on same machine. Our migration can be somewhere else and our code will be somewhere else, and then from there, when you do your request, things come from different places, so will make a lot of difference when we push it to production. I mean, for now on our local machine development, you'll never see, big difference. That's what I was looking at it. But then, the way you explained to me, it didn't make sense. I thought you knew what's going on. And then I was kind of like, oh, why are you saying this? So I don't know what you're trying to say. If it is it's good practice, whatever you're doing, I don't have any problem to get whatever you're telling me. But then if something doesn't make sense to me, uh, for me to go against the good practice, it doesn't make sense to me. To tell you the truth, I mean, uh,
Well, you are going against good practice. You're duplicating critical information in two places. That's absolutely bad software engineering. I'm sorry, it is.
you know
And
what?
the only argument that you had was performance. But when I put that loop, when I put the loop in, is to try to identify the cumulative count between the two different ways of doing it. Because the difference between those two statements from a user point of view is measured in probably milliseconds, maybe even nanoseconds. It's immaterial to the user. So there's no reason to violate good software engineering because of performance, because there's no performance hit for the user whatsoever. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay. So I would probably I would say, I'm not saying any code. Take any professional Ruby code apps, and then if you see any similar thing, I bet you wouldn't say any similar thing people doing that. If not, bring someone who's professional and then show which one is a good practice, and then they will tell you which is which. I'm telling the truth. I'm not trying to say my way is right. I'm trying to tell you, the good practice way. I mean, if your way is a good practice, I don't have any problem to say, okay, practice this, Patrick, this is the good way to do it, and then take it. How many times I told you when I see a good code in your model or in your control, I say, Patrick, that's a really good code. How many times did I tell you? I don't have any problem with that. But then, to me, I will be honest I just want to be honest to myself. If it's something goes against the good practice from what I understand, I mean, you guys, if you want after a PR, you guys change it. I won't. To tell you the truth, I'm not going to change it.
Okay, so both Hugh and I have told you that it's bad software engineering. Hugh's a very experienced software engineer, by the way. But in spite of that, you choose to say, no, you're not going to change it? Is that what's happening here? In spite of both of us saying that? And you being a very experienced software engineer?
Hugh, he didn't say it's
He
bad.
did.
He did. No. He didn't tell me to my face on my. What he said is, Salim. Okay, this is what he told me, Salim. Try to prove to me if this increase in only 20%, then I'll keep it. That's what he told me. That's what he said. He didn't say, oh, this is bad practice.
No, he did say that he wasn't going to accept it as it is. And then
no, he didn't.
No, he
Don't
did.
go.
Well, he did. That's what I heard.
Oh man. Okay.
But if
you know what?
It's up to him. If he wants to accept it, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
change
what
it
I'm
afterwards. I do think if you want to review that with a third person, very experienced Ruby on Rails developer,
Sure.
I would welcome you to do that and tell me what their comment is.
Yeah. Why don't you just? I mean, what is this? Sam, whoever is in charge of the agile.
No, I'm not doing anything with it. I'm done, Salim. I'm done with it. I've talked to you enough about it. I've tried to prove it to you. I got a comment back on Slack, visible to everybody who uses Slack, by the way, hundreds of people, which was extremely insulting to me. So I've had it with this, Salim. I don't want to argue about this anymore. You do what you think is right, and we'll move on. Okay? I'm done.
You think you think if you think I insult you, then I'm sorry. I mean, this is not about me. I know it's just trying to have some, knowledge sharing. That's it. If you think I insult you, I'm very sorry. I mean, Patrick, you're, to my culture, especially in my culture, at least, even you are a little bit older than me. If I insult you, it's really bad, even to my culture. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. If that's you think, I apologize. If
Oh,
that's the case, you
that's
know
not.
what?
That's
Okay,
okay.
if
I
that,
appreciate
if
that.
I'm sorry, you trying to get emotional. If that's the case,
No, I'm
I'll
not.
change it right now. I
No,
swear.
I'm
No,
not
no,
emotional at all.
no, no,
I'm
no, no,
very
no,
dispassionate.
no,
So
no, 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 no. If you take it personal, then I don't have any problem with that. I'll change it right now for you.
no, no, you
I
don't need
know,
to do what you
no,
think is right.
no. I change it right now. Tell you the truth. I mean, probably you might not know me personally, but I'm very respectful guy, especially to my elders, to my someone who's a little bit older than me. I'm very respectful guy. This is just sharing knowledge. That's why we have, argument maybe sometimes. Um, well, by the way, I was trying to reach you too through the phone. I don't know, for some reason. I don't know if I got a wrong number or something. You know,
Hmm. Okay.
I don't know. So if you don't mind, I mean, if you still have my number, can you text me and I'll receive it again. I remember I gave it to you.
Sorry, what do you want? You want my phone number? Is that correct? Say that again. Sorry.
Remember we shared a cell phone number one time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, at one time I missed. I think I missed a scrum or something. I was trying to reach you, but I don't know if you get my number, my message or something or no.
That's my number there.
I'm not sure.
Let me see.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
See.
I got your number. 619-376-7596.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Please, if I'm offending you or if I'm taking something personal, just tell me straight up. I don't want to offend anybody. Sorry if that's the case. I'm really sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I
I think it's just
apologize.
a cultural misunderstanding, maybe. Let's chalk it up to that. But
Yeah.
um, anyway, on the PR, like I said, do what you think is right. It's not worth really talking about much further, to be honest. If you can find somebody else to show your code to, get a third opinion or fourth opinion, that would be useful too. But because I think
Oh,
it's an important point.
no, no. I think I'll change it. Don't worry about it because also I do work with the other off the agile venture here in LA and San Diego. I work with the developers. So whenever I do my code, sometimes I share and then I get some feedback from them. So I'm not just doing my own thing, saying this is right. I'm
Hmm.
doing some even some developers, Ruby on Rails professional developers. I'm doing with
Hmm.
them.
Yep.
So that's why I'm saying. Otherwise, as I said, Patrick, I've to tell you the truth, I have learned a lot of stuff from you. To tell you the truth, not only coding, you know, a lot of stuff. But
Yep.
maybe it's as I said, it's like maybe a cultural differences, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe.
yes.
Probably to some degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all learn from each other, right?
Yeah. So as I said, and again, if I'm, offending you in some way, you have my number. Say, oh Salim, that's not right. You're doing something this and this wrong, and then just tell me. That's it. That's all. Simple stuff. Uh,
Well, I
it's just
think
communication.
on that episode we had talked, and then at that night you had posted something regarding a speed test difference between the two statements, which is fine. And then I took a stab at putting together my own version of a speed test, which is good because you had taken the effort to put together your speed test, and then your comment was, "Oh, we can go on and on. Let's just stop. I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say." And first of all, I tried to continue the discussion by doing my own speed test. My expectation was that we would connect up that day and go through and talk back and forth on how to do valid speed tests on these things. But what you did was just dismiss my effort altogether. Do you see that? And
Yes,
that after I put forth effort to continue the conversation, as opposed to just do it my way and don't argue, I'm not never about that. So that was the key thing. It's just a
right. The thing
a
is,
simple misunderstanding, I think.
yes. But the thing is, my point was, Patrick, I know. Probably I'll say from the other people, you know more, right? So I understood that you know what's going on when you do something. Especially, I've it's probably I might be I'm a little bit uh, newer, not newer to, I would say newer to Ruby compared to other language. I've done coding a lot, so when I do the analysis, code analysis and stuff like that, when the way you're doing it and then the way I was doing it at school, it's totally, I thought you knew what's going on, So I said, is it really, or you just want to put his point across, or does he know, what I meant or something? That's what I said,
Yeah, I know what
don't
you
know.
mean.
Yeah.
You wanted to show that one statement is 40% faster than the other. I forget what the number was. And
Yeah.
that's great. But
Yeah.
40% is a relative term. When you look at what 40% comes down to in absolute time, we're talking about nanoseconds. From the point of view of the user, which is really the performance we need to worry about. That's all. That's the point I was trying to make, that percentage differences really don't make any sense unless you also talk about absolute differences, absolute time lapse, and then see if that is significant with respect to the user experience. That's the discussion that I wanted to have as a follow-on. But anyway, we've probably spent too much time as it is, right? So I appreciate your comments and your apology. I appreciate that very much. Why don't we just leave it there and chalk it up to a little bit of misunderstanding and move on?
Sure,
Don't have
sure.
feelings.
I mean, even before I don't have any, but any feelings. I mean, that's how I am. If I have anything, in my mind, in my heart, I'm just direct forward. I tell you what I have. So if maybe, as you said earlier, it's cultural differences maybe, and so
Yeah, if there's any
this.
question where I'm coming from, just reach out and ping me on Slack, and we'll just talk
Sure.
it through directly.
Yeah.
Be the best way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Okay,
that's it.
sounds good to me.
All right. Okay.
Glad we had a talk, and we'll talk again tomorrow.
Sure. All right.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye.
Yep, bye for now.